it's Lee from coloringqueen.net, and today I've got the latest Chinese colouring book, which is Beauty Drunken Flowers. This one came out in January of 2019. Like all the Chinese colouring books that you see currently, they're all roughly the same size and thickness. You can see it up against World of Flowers there. So a little bit smaller than A4. Now this one has a lovely little pink side panel here with the title in lovely bright pink foiling and the gorgeous picture on the front. And that cover is matte. Now you may need to protect that with plastic sheet if you don't want it to get all grubby. Now this was a gift, and so on the title page of this there's a little personal message from somebody, so I'm not going to show you that. There's a title page that's exactly the same as this, and the reason I'm not going to show it to you is because the sticky note that it was on sort of melted into the paper a little bit in the shipping process, and I don't think I'll be able to get it off unless I put some like glue off on the paper without tearing it. But the same image that's on the front cover is also on the title page. And then we start with the lovely little thumbnail type drawings, and I think this is an introduction. You can use Scan and Translate to have a look at it and see what it says. Then we've got our thumbnails, and just even from here we can see like there's classic Asian looking ladies, but there's also some with like a little anime type look. So we've got our gorgeous illustrations here. This is stitched and glued, so it's easy enough to lay out. And now we come to the same format that's pretty well used in all of these Chinese style colouring books, and that's with the artwork just on the one side with some text on the left hand side. So the paper is white and it's very thin. It's like your KDP Create Space paper, but a little bit nicer, but not thicker, and white and smooth. So it's a thin paper, but at least they're single-sided images. Some of them do cross over, they go over to the left-hand facing page, but most of them stay within the right-hand side. And so you got this lovely line art, and because they're single page, you can just pop a sheet behind it or a couple of sheets and use markers if you wanted to. So gorgeous ladies. One day I'll have to scan one of these books and see what that text is all about. It's really nice segments on the hair here, but the bow in her hair looks like it's also got hair segments as well, whereas the ribbons attached to it don't. You see some gorgeous coloured art pieces from these books. Lots of different flowers in this one. Lots of folds on that dress and really detailed hair. And the paper reminds me of the paper in the Colouring Heaven magazines. This has got the pattern a little bit lighter in grey on the dress, which delineates it from the flowers in the background there that are in a darker line art. And again, the softer look on the flowers on the pattern on her dress. Now I do have a lot of background noise today. The neighbour is doing some sort of work that's quite noisy, and my dog is snoring. So You might hear some of that in the background. We've got lovely metal here, so that'd be a good excuse to use your metals. And the pagoda in the background is all in a lighter grey, as is this flowing water or cloud or fog, mist. It's all in a very light grey. I'm sure you can see it now on camera. It's a bit hard to see. And then we've got finer lines for this background detail, as opposed to the thicker lines up here. She's got lovely long eyelashes. I'm a little bit jealous. And this is like a real black line. It's really dark. I don't know about the perspective on this hand, but I think it gets away with it. But here her hand is giant and she's got one finger that's smaller than the others, and her thumb is quite tiny in comparison. I think the artist might have been better off putting that hand in a pocket, to be honest. Hands are so hard to do, aren't they? I'd hate to be an artist and having someone pick on their hands all the time. And we've got this lovely dark black lines. And again, the softer flowers that have set onto the mirror or the fan. So some of the line art is super easy to see, especially if you have a minor visual impairment, but others have a lighter grey or a lighter line weight that might make it a little harder to see. But on the whole, most of them are pretty good. And then, of course, we have these tiny little birds, flying ducks there that are absolutely fine print on them. I don't think I'd be able to see much of those to do any colouring on them much. Isn't this one beautiful? She's got that lovely flowing gown happening. I'll tell you what, this would make you very good at colouring folds in fabric after you finish this book. And this is gorgeous. And this is our copyright information. Got that gorgeous back cover. Just beautiful. And with that lovely little light shade of pink. And because it's matte, it is going to pick up the dirt, so you might want to cover it if you have it. So there we have it, gorgeous Beauty Drunken Flowers, the latest colouring book from China. Until next time, happy colouring.